So ever since I was a little kid and I would go to one of those arcades like Chuck E. Cheese or Dave & Buster's or whatever, and after getting a few hundred or sometimes 1,000 tickets, I headed to get my usual like ring or plastic figure or the piece of candy or whatever, and I'd always just see those bigger prizes, specifically of course the video game consoles and smartphones and stuff, and they would always be displayed as costing hundreds of thousands of tickets. Sometimes I'd see people win them and just wonder how did they do it or how much did they spend. But now I finally wanted to figure it out, and in this case I'm going to use Dave & Buster's. The common console today of course costs around $300, so I needed to buy $300 worth of points. Now on the Dave & Buster's app, it's kinda weird how they price them, so I kinda went over how much I was supposed to spend. I guess we'll consider this sales tax. So before we go into Dave & Buster's and start gathering data by getting tickets, let's first calculate in theory how much we would need. Now I'm not gonna use this wacky number, I'm just gonna round it to a nice clean 1,800 tickets, and then at the end result I will use this number. When I went to Dave & Buster's, each console costed 100,000 tickets, so I divided the 100,000 tickets by the 1,800 chips that we own. This would equal an amount of 55. This basically tells us that we need 55 tickets won per chip. Now in my personal assumption and prediction, I believe that I can win maybe 32 tickets per chip just as a random guess. If that were true and you kept on buying chips in order to get to that 100,000 tickets, you would be spending $520. I felt like my prediction may have been off by this, and I was right. So I headed over to my local Dave & Buster's and tried asking different employees about which game would really give me the most tickets. I didn't really get any really true response. It was mostly just them saying it's all about luck, and I was like, ah yes, very helpful. So I only had one game that I truly knew I could win tons of tickets at, and it is the Big Bass Wheel. The lowest amount that you could get on a spin was 4 tickets, and that's only once. Everything else can range from 40 to 150 tickets. And of course there are the 2 bonus tickets, like getting 500 or even 1,000. Also, just a disclaimer, everyone's luck is different, so these results would really vary. And there are games that could increase the odds of these points being higher, like Crossing Road I know is a good game to get tickets at, but after at least like 20 jumps, I'm not the best at that game, so I'd rather put my luck into this game, especially being guaranteed that I'll get more points. So I started spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, and you get the idea. Eventually I went down to 1,000 chips remaining, and had only won 4,125 tickets. So I spun some more, and eventually I got the 500 ticket jackpot. So anyways though, I got to my last spin, and well, I got 70 tickets. Not once did I get that jackpot out of the 182 spins. The only time I got it was like 6 years ago, but then again, to be fair, the last time I went to Dave & Buster's was 6 years ago. As for my total tickets, it came down to 10,138. So before I go to the ticket spot to claim my prize, which is clearly not the console, let's first of course calculate the question that I've been asking the whole time. And now that we have this new number of 10,138 tickets, we need to divide this price by the cost of the console in tickets. This would equal 9.86. Now you may be wondering, what is the significance of this number? Well, this would show how many more times we would need to play to get to that 100,000 tickets. I would basically need to duplicate what I achieved just 9.86 more times. So when we do $302 times 9.86, that would equal $2,977.72. That is basically almost 10 times the amount of a regular priced console that you'd find at a store. I would have to spin Big Bass 1,795 times, and I'd basically be stuck there for like hours on end. So yeah, anyways though, I went to the price spot. I clearly couldn't get near that console, and neither could I do that for video games. They costed 15,000 tickets. Now I'm not going to calculate this sort of math because it's pretty obvious. I would just need 5,000 more tickets, and if I spend $302 on 10,168 tickets, I would basically need to spend like $106 more. That would basically mean that a video game there would cost like $400 in total. But then again, I know these prices seem insane. To give Dave & Buster's the benefit of a doubt, they're not a charity, they're for profit, and they still do need to make profit. They're clearly not going to keep the price the same same at $60 in order to win. They need to have some legroom because there may be people that may be luckier than me. They could potentially get 30,000 tickets. And of course there are some, like I've said, that have had enough to actually win. But those people either know more about how to win at arcades and stuff, or they genuinely are just more lucky. Or they could just save their tickets over time, which is probably the most logical one. I read this one article about a guy that got a Nintendo Switch at Dave & Buster's for just $50. Pretty sure he wasn't playing Big Bass. But before the video ends, I would like to thank, not a sponsor, I know that's usually what people say, but I'd like to thank my math professor. He really helped me to get on the right track on how exactly to do these calculations, and that's really how I calculated the beginning of the video with the 55 tickets per chip portion. After that, I just used the same formula to determine how much it would cost when I had my own numbers. So yeah, he has a channel that you should check out if you need help with math. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one, for real this time.